Welcome back to the Die Again podcast, greatest audio blog this side of the solar system. I'm your game master, Josiah, and with me as always is my player and fellow audio blogger,
William. That's what we're calling it now. We discovered that that's what it was called prior to Apple taking over it. So,
we're returning to a freer time.
a simpler time.
And we're returning to that time as laser shots whiz overhead. Corva, you are ducked behind a shipping container as your drug bust has gone somewhat awry. Why don't you describe yourself?
All right. So, Corva is a member of the, and I'm going to say this wrong every time, Shozono
Ka.
species. Yeah, he's a bug. He got 4 arms. He has armor on because he's part of the police force. He is a detective. So we have lasers being shot at me and I'm behind cover.
Yep, you are ducked behind a shipping container. Your partner has unfortunately already bled out. So it's just you.
Like dead blood out?
Yep.
Okay.
He decided he wasn't going to wear the helmet because he was too cool for that, and now he's going to be very cold. So now,
so I make sure I have my helmet on.
Yep, it's you against about 3 human gangsters.
So I have an energy pistol, a stun pistol. Is it safe to assume the stun pistol is just more like a disarm kind of thing?
It'll knock him out. It's short range, and you can use both because you have 4 arms and compound eye.
That's what I was thinking. So I'll go ahead and draw both of my pistols. I'll put my stun pistol in my left hand and my energy pistol in my right, and then have my upper arms ready to do whatever's necessary.
All right, so right now the shots are coming from overhead. Last you saw your enemies, they were to your right. You can go to the left or to the right from the shipping container. You're kind of exposed otherwise. This is a sort of a ship docking bay, so you're facing towards the bay.
So when we say ship docking, spaceship docking, or like this is
Spaceship.
okay. Are there any? So I'm imagining like with our real life docking areas where they have like transportators suspended and moved around. Is there anything similar to that?
Yes.
Could my energy pistol shoot the rope or whatever it is that they're using to hold on to these transportators?
Yes. It'll be a trickier shot than anything closer, but you can do it. You're skilled enough.
Or if not a transportator, something similar, something within the environment that I can use to distract them by shooting it and making it make noise.
I'd say the transportator is probably the easiest thing.
Okay, then I want to go ahead and take my first shot as Corva.
All right, that's going to be awareness firearms.
Okay, and for this system, it's
2d6.
2d6s.
That's right, we're playing genre diversion again.
All right, 2d6. Hot dice. Not hot dice. 4 and 1, so 5 total. And
5 plus 6.
Okay.
So that's going to be not quite enough. You can spend a point of experience, and that'll be enough to get over the hump.
You know what? This is the first time I'm going to go ahead and use 1 up.
All right, and what I'm going to be doing, since we had issues tracking experience last time, I'm just giving you 1 more each session.
Okay.
All right, so you spend that. So you, with your compound eyes, you track it, move your hand, and shoot without getting out of cover, and that is coming crashing down. Make a awareness composure roll to react fast enough to take optimal advantage of this distraction.
Okay, so composure's +1, awareness is 4.
And you just need to beat a 10.
Okay, that's right on then. I got a 6 on the dice and composure's +1 awareness, so that's 11.
All right, so you're out of your cover just before it hits, and that comes crashing down. They all turn to face that, so you can see all of them. Their backs are to you, and you're going to get the chance to fire both pistols.
Okay, this drug heist, I'm assuming it's supposed to be I bring them in kind of thing.
That was the plan, although they did kill your partners. Nobody on the force is going to care if you kill these guys.
Okay, how many are there?
There's 3.
Okay, I'm going to try to take down the 2, but I'm not trying to kill either one of them. I just want to disarm them, essentially.
All right, fitness firearms, or we'll do your energy pistol first. So this is going to be, you're trying to do a non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Firearms and fitness will give me a total of 5. And I rolled a 6, so 12. I mean,
11.
No, 11. I can do math. 11.
Can you?
Maybe.
All right, so you manage to hit him in the back of his thigh. He goes down screaming. Now let's roll for your stun pistol.
Is that
Same
going to be
roll.
the same? Okay. Okay, wow, that's a big roll. 16.
All right, you manage to hit him well enough that you stun him, and the charge travels up his arm. His arm jerks out, and he shoots his other buddy in the leg, so they're all down.
Okay, so it's funny that the stun gun is on the left hand. So, surprise, the bug's left-handed.
Yep.
That's why that happened. In case the listeners care, I'm left-handed, therefore I demand left-handed representation.
Yep. And hey,
Here we
this
are.
character's bald too.
Yes.
All right, so you've got him down. You can go in and cuff him.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming I have enough for all three, right?
Yeah, thanks to the
Okay.
energy cuffs, you can transport about 10 cuffs pretty easily.
Nice. So as I'm walking up to them, I'm just saying to myself, man, I'm going to hear about this from the higher ups in the department. Made quite a bit of mess here with this transportainer. What spilled out of it?
Just random bullshit.
Random
Imagine
bullshit.
a transportainer full of Timu shit.
That's actually what I was thinking. Yeah, that or AliExpress.
Exactly. So your character is complaining about how he's going to hear about this from the higher ups, and we time cut to you hearing about it from the higher ups as your boss is yelling at you. He says, "Damn it! I just assigned you that partner. He was a good man, fresh out of the academy.
Was he did you mention that was he human or
He's human."
okay. So then I say, I'm sorry, man. They don't make humans like they make me. Bugs with eyes and four arms and common sense to wear helmets.
Your boss, a sort of pig-faced quadruped, says, "Damn it! I told you, can't tolerate that kind of attitude around here.
Well, I can't help it. I'm not dead.
Yeah, keep those words to yourself, or we're gonna have HR breathing down our necks again."
So when you say pig face, are we being literal or
Yes.
okay? I just had to
Imagine
make
like a centaur, but pig, a pigtar.
so four pig legs and then a body or
Yeah.
what would like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
like
weird.
how it's like a centaur, but if it was all pig.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
horrifying
A
for
pig
humans to
tar.
look at, but for you, it's very normal.
For me, it's another Wednesday. Okay. So I say, yeah, I know. I love humans. I'm just not going to say they're stronger than me because literally they're squishy, but we're all good.
Get out of here. Up to my neck
Okay.
in paperwork.
All this Timu stuff that's all over the space yard.
Every single one of those damn things has a shipping number attached.
You've taken the timeline for small business owners off the charts with this. Damn you.
You're dismissed. Do you bother going to inform your partner's loved ones?
I think so, because I'm going to assume whoever's assigned him, he's probably at in some level like okay with them. So he respects the Space Force or whatever our police department's called, and he would do that.
It's called the police department.
Space Force. No. Okay. So yeah, he goes.
All right, so you get the information and you're going to head out to his apartment. So the Icron space station, sort of think of it like a tube with a few arms sticking out. It is massive. It has the population of New York City, and mostly it's sort of a shipping hub with casinos attached. So people come here to refuel, to drop off stuff for other ships to take, or to lose their money.
So we're a docking station in Las Vegas.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Awesome.
So you head over to his apartment. It's sort of in the seedier side of town. You just knock on the door.
What was his name?
Make a reasoning roll to see if you remember, because this is literally the first day you've met him.
Can I add my bureaucracy to this?
Sure. I think that's good reason to remember people's names.
Yeah. So +5 total. 10 even.
His name was Jiminy.
Jiminy. Okay. So yeah, I go ahead and knock on the door.
A woman answers. I assume you already took off your armor since you're off duty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Okay. What do you want?
Hey, are you a loved one of a Jiminy?
She says, yeah.
Well, I got bad news for you. Jiminy is Jimmy gone.
She says, damn. Then she pulls out her comm unit. We're having steak tonight. I'm getting that insurance claim. And closes the door.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I had his his well, he would have had in his locker in my two bottom arms. So
Yeah, and
She
as
doesn't
she
want
sees
this.
it, she does not care.
well, Jiminy, I guess she's not really a loved one. Sorry about that, bud.
Life is cheap on Icron. So, are you gonna take Jiminy's stuff to your place, or are you just gonna throw it in the trash and head to Mix?
I'm gonna keep Jiminy's stuff.
All right. So you're going to drop it off at your place.
Yeah, and as I'm walking, I kind of look through, like, just look at it just to see what Jiminy considered valuable things to keep with him while at work.
So he has various religious paraphernalia, nothing consistent, sort of like you would know, I guess, because you've dealt with enough humans. This gives away he's a believer in quantum omnitheism.
Does that mean all religions are the same at every time and space? And
No, it's the universe is constantly expanding and God is all powerful, therefore all religions are true simultaneously somewhere.
can't argue with that.
It's become more common among certain groups of humans.
Is that a thing at all for my species?
There may be some who've adopted it, but it's very much a human thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, those silly humans with their math theorems and mixing them with religion and thinking they know everything. But yeah, it's cute. I'll keep this. It's a reminder.
He has a bullet, an old school bullet with his name on it. Didn't work.
Is that a superstition thing for cops?
The idea is if you have a bullet with your name on it and you keep it, then there's no bullet with your name on it shooting you.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's an old one.
In character, he's like, huh, weird.
You're like, I could have checked this to remember what his name was.
Anything else?
Aside from that, there's a bandana, some assorted clothes. He didn't have too much in the locker yet.
Okay. So I head back to my place.
All right. Your place is, I would say, lower middle class. So you actually do have the space station equivalent of a house.
Okay.
You sort of own it, although technically everything is leased here.
Can't really own land when it's literally flying around in space. It's not like back in my home world where you could have a farm and have a big family. Is my character alone, or
I'd say that's up to you, but I would guess yes, because I'm imagining you're like the chain smoking veteran detective.
okay? So as I go in my house and it opens, I see a photo of my dead wife who was taken from me many moon cycles ago, and I say, another good one has died, honey, and I put the bullet with his name right next to hers.
And it's
Photo.
next to like a bunch of other partners' stuff.
Yes.
There's several bullets with names on them.
It's my shrine for anybody that I remotely cared about dying.
Yeah, In the Arms of the Angel starts playing automatically as you put another thing on there.
Okay.
All right. Are you gonna crash here or are you heading to Mix? That's your usual dive bar.
So I'm assuming that this space station, it has like a day and night cycle. It's simulated, but it's there.
Yeah, it depends on which level you're on. So your level is close to what your species would naturally have on their home world. You share it with some other species that have similar day-night cycles. Yours goes about, I'm translating to Earth time for all you nerds that care about relativity bullshit. You can say it's about 26 hours of Earth time is the day with about 6 hours of night.
26 hours of day, 6 hours of night.
Yeah, for you.
Is the police station under the same cycle, I guess?
The police station goes vertically along the whole pipe of the station. So you can go from the police station to any level.
I see. Okay.
The main part is still in the human section because humans are the majority. So the majority of calls come there as well.
Very cool. What time of the day are we in then? Is this the morning?
It's closer to the evening where you were previously. It's closer to the evening here as well. They tried to bring them sort of in sync. It doesn't really work. There's a lot of daylight savings time bullshit happening. The amount of times you've had to reset your clock, or rather the AI has reset your clock.
I was about to say, if it was I having to change my own time, then this is like Star Wars. Like,
I
oh,
like to imagine some people insist on doing it themselves.
there are definitely people that are like, I like doing it analog. There's
It's like,
something
I
about
have a traditional gear-based clock. No, I don't care that the difference in gravity messes it up.
Would it? Maybe. Who knows? But okay, if it's pretty much close to evening, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the local bar.
The accurate thing would be to say that your biological clock is saying it's close to evening. 'Cause
Okay.
you've probably gotten to a point where you kind of ignore what the station says.
I mean, I'm going to assume this place is like with real New York, where there's so many places in it that never really close.
Yeah, basically, aside from very specific places like maintenance, everything is constantly going. Maintenance is constantly going, but you don't like to think about that. All right, so you head to Mix. It's a dive bar that really only the locals go to, mostly because no one would want to tourist into there. It's not a good place, but it's a cheap
Right.
place, and the people there are familiar with you, so you don't get into too many fights there.
Okay. But it is still, regardless, a little rough.
It's a little rough, which is part of the reason you go there. You'll notice you have street talk at 2, so this is
Okay.
also where you meet a lot of your contacts.
Right. Where I can use my investigation at 3. Okay. So I go ahead and head over there. Anything special on the way?
You notice a newscast that's going on. Do you care about politics?
I think I do, only because at the end of the day, I work for the government, more or less. So I care enough to see what's going on.
So you notice one of the major supply contracts for the city is up for bid again. And it sounds like that bidding war is getting pretty bitter between the two major trade players. But you don't catch who those are. You don't quite remember. These wouldn't be like household names because these are more industrial than like an Amazon.
Okay.
So this is more like these are the people who are going to be supplying the pipes and the raw ore and all of that kind of stuff that you need to keep the station going.
Is it known where a lot of the supply comes from, or is it all over?
Well, that depends on who gets the contract. So right now there's nearby mining colonies, and that's where you're getting the supplies.
Okay, so this is like meteor farming, essentially.
There's meteor farming, but there's also planetary mining.
Well, my character thinks same old, same old. Someone will get the contract, and the wheels on the bus go round and round.
You get to mix, you order your coffee because coffee is what gets you drunk.
That's hilarious. And what happens if I have alcohol, like human alcohol? Is it like poisonous?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Okay, so I go up to the bartender and say, "Give me a hot cup of Joe."
And he pulls out the coffee machines that he keeps specifically for you.
Am I the only bug?
The only one that would dare go to mix.
I mean, is my character that ballsy? Like that brave about? Is it simply
To
because
some
I have the
extent,
bad?
it's because you've been here a long time. One of your previous partners who was actually experienced is the one who started getting you to go here.
I have a coffee mug in my place that he gave me. It's right next to my wife's photo. So
Yeah. So he pours you a 16-ounce mug. He says, "Another partner?"
yeah, this time it was a young guy named Jiminy. Really unfortunate. Turns out that his personal relations didn't really care that he died.
He says, well, if they cared, they wouldn't have let him become a cop. Good way to get killed out here. And with that, he walks off to go serve another patron.
Okay. So then I take my coffee and I smell it. Tell me what this is for me. What does smelling this coffee make me think?
With your poor sense of smell, I think it takes you back to when you first had coffee because your species on your planet did not have it. So when your partner first handed you a cup of joe at the department and you first had a drink of coffee and then you took the cruiser out in that state, that's sort of what's flashing through your mind.
So there was before coffee and after coffee for me.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like you drank it at some point, can't really recall that.
And I say, and in my head, I think, man, those humans are silly, but they do know how to make this coffee.
So you're sipping on your
No,
you just
yeah,
shotgun that shit.
yeah.
All right. With that, the bartender, whose name you know isn't Mix, but you don't actually know what it is because he gives a different name to almost everybody. It's like going all in tonight. All right. Then he starts getting another cup going. You can't drink too fast because of the amount of time it takes to brew a cup.
Say Mickey is what I think his name is, but I know isn't.
Yeah.
Where do you guys get this coffee from? What planet?
These days, he sort of stops and he goes and he reads the label and he says, well, I can't read this label, but I'm pretty sure this is somewhere out by Arcturus.
I'll have to take a trip out there someday. Maybe when I'm a retired cop, I'll go out there and start a coffee farm. That sounds nice.
one of the more boisterous drunks by you that you've gotten into a brawl with before sort of points a finger gun at your head and says, this is the retirement package for cops on Icron. And Fake pulls the trigger and then falls off his chair laughing.
And then I take all 4 of my fingers and finger gun him too. Ha ha ha.
He plays along, sort of rolls around like he got shot.
What is this?
This is you hanging out with your buddies. All right. Anything else you do throughout this night?
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is probably what he typically does when it's like, it sucks. Someone he kind of knew died, people he's known died, and he just goes to this bar and he hangs out.
And most of the people here, they've all known plenty of people that have died. It wasn't a joke that life on Icron's pretty cheap. As you're drinking throughout the night, I want you to make a awareness composure check. And I'm going to say your difficulty 12.
Okay, so awareness, composure, that's going to be +5 to my roll. 13, so I got 2 4s. I just made it.
All right. In your haze, you notice someone who isn't a regular, a female that you don't quite notice what species in your haze, comes in, briefly talks to one of the regulars, and gives them some money before leaving.
Do I recognize the regular?
Yeah, it's someone that you've dealt with for procurement. He's sort of in with a lot of people. So you haven't busted him yet because you sometimes use him when you need illicit materials to get a investigation finished.
Now, how odd is it to not recognize a species?
The issue isn't so much that you wouldn't be able to, so much as you're drunk.
Okay.
So in the state that you're in, it's just hard to sort of parse it out for someone you aren't familiar with. And there's just a lot of species. So you could tell it's humanoid, could be human, could be one of the very similar to human species.
Okay. And I remember this.
Yes, because
Okay.
it's notable to you, because there's not a lot of strangers at Mickey's, or Mick's, rather.
So do I wake up? Is it the next morning or am I still drunk or what? Where are we?
You come to in the morning earlier than you would like to the sound of your phone going off, or rather your comms unit.
So just before we get into this, for our comms unit, what does it do? Is it smartphone?
Think
level or
smartphone on acid.
like a true AI assistant on it or
It has AI assistant capabilities if you're paying for that.
okay, if I pay the subscription fee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every piece of software now is subscription based. You've heard tales of purchased software. That's how the AI maintain their places, is by charging subscriptions for the software they put out.
I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so I look at my comms, I go, and then what's the name I see on it?
It's your boss.
Oh no. Okay, I answered the phone.
Get your ass up to the higher wards. We've got a big fucking problem. And that's where we'll cut it.
Okay. Welcome everyone to our 3rd season of the Daigen podcast, where we dive into the adventures of Detective Bug Corva. I'm thrilled to see what unfolds for our coffee-loving, crime-solving detective. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment wherever you're tuning in from. Don't forget to follow us, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode. Bye.
I like how you did the anime glasses push up. Like tilted your head.
And then a sheen happens.
Yeah.